There's a new law in 2024 that could cost a bunch of illegal parking violators a lot of money. Let's check it out. Yeah, welcome in, parking fans. And California has indeed passed a new parking law that's going to end up costing a bunch of you that live in California or travel there and park illegally a lot of money if you don't know this law. So let's jump into it and check out what they did.
No way that cars can see me ahead of time.
Our own Leanne Melendez hits the streets of San Francisco to show us how a new parking law is designed to save lives. And drivers, we need to listen up, because if you think you found the perfect parking spot, you might just want to wait on that. Pedestrian deaths are on the rise in some parts of the Bay Area, so could this new law help build a better Bay Area and keep people safe? You may not know this, but parking next to crosswalks is now illegal.
Yeah, the bill signed into law earlier this month is already proving to be controversial because it won't just have an impact on where you park in the Bay Area.
ABC 7 News reporter Leanne Melendez is here to kind of share with us the implications of it.
Yeah, I was
really... A lot of
really...
people don't know this.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
That was amazing. It caught so many people by surprise, myself included. So, you know, transit officials use the word daylighting. When you have light, you see better, right? And that basically means improving safety by removing parked cars next to crosswalks in order to be able to see the pedestrian better. This is not an only in San Francisco moment here. Every city in California must now follow this law.
Wait.
I'm actually surprised that not being able to park next to a crosswalk wasn't a law sooner in California. It's a law here in Florida, in Tampa at least, and I think all of Florida. If we look it up, it has a rule of how close you can be to the crosswalk. Here in Florida, I think it's 15 to 20 feet.
The law is simple. Don't park within 20 feet of a crosswalk, whether it's marked or not. SFMTA told us parking control officers will now issue warnings.
If you're within the spirit of the 20 feet, they'll be okay. They're not going to take out a tape measure.
But we did.
So right there is, we're going to measure. And this goes up to right here, 10.
We did it in two stages, 10 feet at a time.
So that's about 20 feet right there.
Think of it as the length of a big car, but don't expect all curbs near those crosswalks to be painted red.
No, it will not be painted because it's a state law now. It's basically like a driving rule.
So how are people supposed to know?
Well, that's part of the reason that we're doing this story, is to increase awareness.
Did you know about that law?
No, I didn't know about that law at all.
So I don't know about it either.
We tried our darndest to inform the public.
Not that car, but it would be like, 20, so that taxi right there, couldn't be there.
If you can't park within 20 feet of the crosswalk, it's going to make parking a lot more difficult for everybody.
Yeah, they already have quite a bit of parking problems. Now you're just going to make it a lot harder. I get it, all for the safety, but you're going to see a ton of people parking illegally. If you live in California, ever wanted to videotape people parked illegally, just find your nearest crosswalks. I guarantee you'd have video for days.
Everybody.
That's like a Tesla truck.
But city traffic engineer Ricardo Olea told us the state is prioritizing pedestrian safety over parking.
By keeping away from the crosswalk, you're allowing vehicles that are driving to get a better view of pedestrians that might be starting to cross the crosswalk.
This is especially important for children. Now, I'm 5'9" and pretty visible, but a child is not and may be missed by a driver.
According to the California...
Or the child's parents could do a better job of parenting and making sure the child's not walking out in the crosswalk without an adult there to make sure it's clear to walk. There's always that option.
Office of Traffic Safety, California traffic deaths reached a 4-decade high. The state's pedestrian fatality rate is more than 25% higher than the national average. In order to comply with the new law, there will be some changes. Parking meters, for example.
We will proactively go out and remove those parking meters in the course of the next couple of years. In the worst case scenario, it's 2 spaces per block.
As a result, there will be less revenue from parking meters for cities, though the exact amount was not researched by the state. But the new law won't just impact parking spaces. Buses that start or end their route near a crosswalk will be moved back 20 feet.
I mean, when that bus is parked there on that corner, I can't see the cars that are coming.
Yeah, if there's a bus parked like a terminal, we will look at those, make sure that when buses are parked, that they're away from the corner.
So here's another question, parklets.
There are restaurants with parklets that are right up against the crosswalk, like this one. There is no way that cars can see me ahead of time.
We do need to have structures as well kept away from intersections, and we've been gradually discussing.
You're not going to be popular with those restaurants.
We are already having those discussions.
Okay.
So we've already been working with the restaurant industry in.
Is there anybody in California in my comment section that can tell me what a parklet is? Is that where they're specially parking vehicles for that restaurant, or is there like actually people? I don't imagine there's no one eating in those restaurants, or is that like a valet service? We don't have that in Florida. What is that?
Situations where the parklet under the pandemic was installed too close to the intersection, we have actually asked them to move.
While taxis, Lyft, and Uber drivers won't be allowed to park near a crosswalk, anyone can drop someone off near the crosswalk without getting ticketed. By the way, beginning next year, 2025, the warnings will stop. Instead, citations will be given out. The fine has yet to be determined.
So what do you say to people that claim that San Francisco is anti-car?
San Francisco is not anti-car, but San Francisco has the benefit of having other alternatives to driving, such as transit, biking, walking.
But at times,
So we're not anti-car, but we're going to recommend everything but a car to you because we're anti-car.
those who are walking are on their phones, not paying attention when they enter the crosswalk.
They have to take ownership too. People are distracted, they're on their phone, correct?
Correct, but because people may be distracted, we want to make sure that the motorist, when they're approaching, and that the motorist is the one that has the ability to slow down their very large vehicle, that they can see that there's a pedestrian that might be distracted walking in, that there might be a child that's starting to walk. We will continue to work on this issue. It's by no means solved, but we're hopeful that we can continue to make progress.
So we were told that a lot of these pedestrian deaths have occurred in the Tenderloin and Soma neighborhoods. Now, remember, as part of Vision Zero, the goal for San Francisco and any other city in California is to have zero pedestrians killed. Now, the hope is that this new law will help with that vision. Another thing that I learned is that, other states have this rule, have had it for years.
To park 20 feet from
Yes.
a crosswalk? Really? That is interesting.
So for them, it's easy. For us, it's going to be hard. It's going to be...
Well, and people need to know about it. And that's
Yeah.
the hard part.
Yeah.
And I do hope that they remove those parking meters quickly.
Yeah, it's very
Thank you.
confusing
Just
otherwise.
otherwise, people are not going to know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Leanne, very much.
Yeah, and that's crazy. They got to get rid of those parking meters or you will confuse people. And also, they're not giving tickets, they're only giving warnings. So people aren't going to care if they're only getting a warning. Like, oh, I'll just get a warning. I got all year to do it. It's weird that California, the country's most populated state, doesn't have this rule. Florida has it. I believe Texas has it. New York probably has it, I would guess. I don't know. I'd have to research and look into this more. But are you from California? What do you think of this? What are those parklets? I got lots of questions here. Leave it in the comment section below as always. I appreciate you guys watching the channel. Hitting that thumbs up, it really means a lot. A ton of you have been hitting that thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up button. Turn it blue and help push this up in the algorithm so we can reach more people. And subscribe to the channel. Come back for future videos. And as always, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.